Hello, it's Jennifer. Today is Tuesday, June 12th. Today I'm looking at the green zebra tomato, and I picked one here today. And I'll go ahead and give it a taste test. This one has been growing in a grow bag. I think this is a 7-gallon grow bag, so about 5 actual gallons. This tomato's been having problems with powdery mildew. Has been very productive, but if this tomato tastes good, I'll try it again. Anyhow, let me go taste it. So here's what it looks like cut. Has some small seeds in it. Let's take a bite. I don't think this tomato is ripe. I don't know how to describe it other than it tastes citrusy, and like it could be really good if it were ripe. So I thought that maybe it'd be ripe when it started turning yellow on the skin, but not quite. Actually, you know what this tastes like? It tastes like a Granny Smith apple. It's not bad, it's just not ripe. And that's all. Today I'm going to taste test the Dr. Lyle's tomato. This is the plant from which the tomato came from. This is one of 3 plants I have in my yard. The other plants are much healthier looking. This plant only gave me 2 tomatoes. The other 2 here did not grow big, and they started ripening as small tomatoes, and I've tasted the small tomatoes from other plants and they are not good. So I went ahead and pulled these off, and I'll allow the critters to eat them. This plant, I don't know why it's not so healthy. But perhaps it's the place that I put it in the yard here that it didn't like. This plant gets morning shade, and actually being next to this wall, it's rather cold in the morning, but in the evening it's rather warm because the wall absorbs heat. But perhaps it just didn't get enough sun. I'm not sure. So let's go take a look at some of the other plants. This Dr. Lyle's is in a similar position in the yard as far as distance from the wall. But it's given forth quite a few more tomatoes and got very tall. It may be, I'm not really sure why that tomato didn't do as well. But this one is definitely thinner, but it's got long vines. And it's also been a victim of powdery mildew. So it's, trying to stay alive. While producing the tomatoes. But after these tomatoes are done, I'll probably pull it and replace it with one of the plants that I already started growing. But yeah, this one's having a hard time, but it did much better in tomato production than the other one. The other tomato I'm going to taste test today is the pineapple tomato, and here's the plant here. It's growing in a 15-gallon bucket. It's produced really big tomatoes so far, and it seems to do fine in this bucket. It didn't grow very tall, so it looks like it topped out at about 4 feet. The vines are also very thin, so I'm surprised that these tomatoes are so big. So we'll go ahead and give it a taste today, see how that is. I water this plant every day. It seems to need a lot of water, and I imagine so, to produce these big tomatoes. As far as fertilizer needs or anything, I just gave it some fish emulsion when it was young, and then when it was older, and now I just give it Epsom salts probably once every 2 weeks. And I imagine that when this is done with the tomatoes here, because I don't see any new flowers, that I'll go ahead and pull this plant and put in a different plant that I've started. So this is the Dr. Lyle's tomato, and it has some cat face here. So it was from a super bloom. let's cut it open. And give it a taste. It just tastes like a grocery store tomato. Nothing special. It's sour, but not too sour. It's not very sweet. The texture is firm though, and almost a little crunchy. So I like this. This is the pineapple tomato. And here's the cross section. And it's got some seeds here, very small. Let's taste. This is very sweet. It doesn't really taste that much like a tomato. It tastes more like a fruit. It's crispy. Yeah, I like this one very much. Tastes just like a fruit. So I see why they call it the pineapple tomato. It could be reminiscent of that flavor, but without so much tartness. And here's my Amish Paste plant. It's actually not doing so well. It doesn't like the heat here. It seems to do better in the spring as far as growing, and then once it got too hot, it just got susceptible to disease and powdery mildew. So I think that once it's done with these tomatoes, the plant's probably kaput. But it does produce a lot of tomatoes of various sizes. So got these here, and then these down here, and this big boy here, and then some more up here. I planted, I think, 3 or 4 of these plants, so I should be able to make some tomato sauce out of these and see how these taste in comparison to other tomato sauces. This is the Amish Paste tomato. It looks like this. This is about the average size. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but this is what typically the size I'm seeing on my plant. So let's give it a cut. And here's what it looks like on the inside. I don't see any seeds. Maybe some over here. Anyhow, this is supposed to be a paste tomato, so let's see how this tastes. It's very sweet. It's very mushy. And yeah, I would only use this in paste. The taste isn't that strong, but the amount of meat in it is good. So maybe as it gets warmer, these will get more tasty. But these feel like good filler tomatoes for, like the yellow tomatoes, for tomatoes that are stronger in flavor to mellow them out. But it's an okay tomato.